Good morning. We want to welcome you to the Survival Skills for the Job Hunt series. And my name is Misty Ritter, and I am a Community Engagement Specialist in Economic Development located in Jefferson County. This webinar series represents an outgrowth of past collaborations between MU Extension, Missouri Job Centers, and the Missouri AFL-CIO. And so today it is an honor to welcome Sally Payne, Director of Workforce Development at the Missouri Job Center, and her colleague Haley Jones-Sides. And also we'll be welcoming Jim Colby, Operations Coordinator for the Missouri AFL-CIO Dislocated Workers Program. So finishing up this week will be several webinars as part of the 4-webinar series that we're offering to help you and others prepare for a transition in a new job or career. And we will be connecting you with resources and experts that can help navigate the complex and changing reality and help you retool and find your next job. So I also want to inform you that this presentation will be recorded, but we'll stop that recording during the question and answer section. So please post your questions in the chat feature or save your questions till the end of the presentation. So thank you and welcome, Sally.
Thank you so much, Misty. I appreciate it. Thanks for having us back. We're excited for the opportunity and to share any information and to answer any questions that you might have on the Missouri Job Centers. So I want to start off by pointing out there are actually 14 workforce regions in the state of Missouri and about 52 job centers. So this map is just a visual representation of how the workforce regions are divided up. Haley and I are in Springfield, Missouri, and so we represent the Ozark region, and we have workforce job centers in Springfield and as well as Branson. But this is how the workforce regions are divided up within the state of Missouri. I wanted to show this graphic. It's kind of interesting. We keep the schematics of all of our job centers, and when you look at this visual representation, this is how our job center is set up. And within the schematic, you can see that we have a little over, I know it says 28,000 square feet. That's actually common space that's shared. Our building is over 40,000 square feet. And this just kind of shows the different offices, computer labs, conference rooms, and where all of our partners are co-located within our building. And, sometimes we're moving a lot as new partners come in and go out, but we try to keep those all on a visual representation, a map, if you will, just to kind of keep track of where everybody is in the building. Within our job center in Springfield, and I must say, and just remind everybody that all of the job centers are different throughout the state of Missouri. Some are traditional one-stop shops like ours is, where we have multiple partners under one building. Others may just be strictly WIOA or Wagner Pizer state staff, but as the city of Springfield and the Springfield Job Center, these are the partners we have. We have ResCare or Equus Workforce Solutions. They operate our TANF, or our Missouri Work Assistance Program in the region. We've got a WIC office co-located with the, in conjunction and partnership with the Greene County Springfield Health Department. Of course, we have the Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development. They operate our Wagner Pizer. We have a new partner, Associated General Contractors of Missouri. We've got VR, and we've also got Legal Services of Southwest Missouri co-located in our building. And we also have a couple of other partners. I won't release who they are, but that will be joining us rather shortly. But having said that, having multiple partners, of course, under one roof is a benefit not only to us as far as who we work with and making referrals, but it's really, really important to our customers. I said before in my previous presentation, we don't want someone coming in our front doors and having to worry about who's serving them, what their funding source is. We just want them to come in for our services, and we'll worry about that. But certainly having, for example, VR under our roof is great for making those referrals. We can co-case manage and really ensure that we're making the correct referrals and what's most appropriate for our customers. Per the law, we've got required WIOA partners. There are 19 required partners for all workforce regions, no matter what region you are. But having said that, I must say, within each workforce regions, we may not have every partner. So in the Ozark region, even though there's 19 required partners, we only have 17 within our region. And so we have partner meetings, we collaborate with them, and they're really, really key to what we do and meeting our mission and vision, but also for their individuals. We don't have the Indian Native American programs, and we do not have Youth Build as well. So we do have, like I said, on-site partners, off-site partners, and we have a couple of partners that just aren't in our region. We also work with many, many community partners. Community partners, not just the required partners, but the community partners are really, really key to what we do. And I always say we would not be successful unless you collaborate and really nurture those relationships. They're so important. But some of our most prominent community partners that we work with, of course, all the area chambers of commerce. We work with all the chambers within all of our counties. We collaborate with them, as far as job postings, sharing customers. We collaborate with them on our individual industry specific roundtables. We, of course, partner with Cox and Mercy. There are two largest healthcare system providers in our region, and they're really, really key we work with them on hiring events, on grant opportunities. Guarantee Bank, they sit on our board. We also work with Regions Bank. They have been great community partners in providing financial workshops. We've also partnered with Regions Bank locally to take them behind the walls of the Ozarks Correctional Center. That is a treatment center, but they are incarcerated individuals, and they've gone behind the walls as we teach our workshops to those releasing inmates to do financial collaboration and courses with them. And they've also been a great community partner in that they've offered to open up bank accounts for those releasing individuals, even if they don't have any startup money, to open those accounts, which is really, really great. JMark, they're a great IT company here in town. Of course, we work with City Utilities. Jordan Valley Innovation Center, we've partnered with them on many grants. I can't say enough about OTC. They are our community college of our region. We have worked with them on grants. We are working with them heavily now to put people into short-term training with all of our CARES Act funding. As you may or may not know, each workforce region in the state of Missouri received $458,000 from the Office of Workforce Development in CARES Act money for short-term training. That funding does expire at the end of this month. So just strangely, in just a few weeks, time's gone by so fast. But OTC works closely with us, and we couldn't do what we do without them for sure. SIMCOG, of course, is important. We serve on our board. We attend their meetings. They're a great collaborator and partner. And Burrell Behavioral Health has been a great partner as well in providing workshops, resources, and of course, we make referrals to them for our customers if needed. Okay, I'm going to pass this.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much. Thank you for the opportunity of having me speak today. I'm going to talk briefly about the Ozark region sectors. And as Sally mentioned previously, each of the 14 different regions have a different list of those required sectors that in order to be funded by WIOA or Workforce Innovative Opportunity Act money, all training must fall under. These sectors are selected and based on training in industries, businesses, and includes partnerships that best improve the local economy. Each of the region sectors are going to vary. For example, areas that are more rurally concentrated, like in West Plains, for example, are going to have industries such as agriculture, whereas more urban areas may focus more on healthcare and IT. As you can see here, the Ozark region consists of transportation and logistics, healthcare, manufacturing, construction, and IT. And as part of the Department of Workforce Development, we not only do jobs here at the Job Center, but we offer education and career pathways on the job training, and what my main focus next is occupational skills training. Through MoJobs, which is the labor exchange system for Missouri's Office of Workforce Development, job seekers can access what is called MoScores. And MoScores consist of training opportunities for all people seeking credible training that provides livable wages. Customers come into the Job Center, they search MoScores, and we assist them in applying for Pell Grants first, and then utilizing WIOA funds to help pay any difference. All of the training through the Missouri Job Center must be conducted by providers on the ETPS list, which is the Eligible Training Provider System. It's beneficial to be on this list not only as a customer receiving that invaluable training, but as a provider, you're also being funded for each participant in the course. The next slides show how to become a provider on the ETPS, but the most important is being approved by the Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development. Once approved by the state, our local provider for the Ozark region, Tracy Polk, receives the application to determine the appropriate sector, program price, and to see if it's a good match. As you can see here, you must have an FEIN and have been offered training offering training for a minimum of 12 months. In addition to a few other things along the way. A very important factor is whether your training program leads to a recognized post-secondary credential. I've listed a few types of institutions that are eligible: vocational or public schools accredited by DESE, private providers, and entities that include programs registered under the National Apprenticeship Act. These are a couple more examples of the training providers that we utilize frequently. As you can see, MTI, C1 Truck Driving Academy, all of our local universities, but you can see that they all fall within our 5 sectors. And as you can see on here as well, we have a variety of programs and partners, as Sally discussed, but I'm going to turn it back over to her to discuss the different sectors that we braid to help fund these training opportunities.
Thank you, Haley. I appreciate it. We couldn't talk about partnerships and the different entities without, I wanted to talk just a few minutes about braiding funding. Again, I must say this is specific to our region. Each workforce region is very different, so their pie chart and braiding funding would look very different. But I just wanted to show an example of our funding sources. So we have many, many different funding sources. We have our formula funds or our Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act funding, dislocated worker, adult, and youth. Those funds are allocated by Congress to the Department of Labor, who passes it down to the State of Missouri Office of Workforce Development, who apply a formula and then will allocate it out to the specific regions. There's many factors that go into those funds as far as unemployment for our youth, how many homeless youth are in your region. So there's many, many different factors within that formula. We also have Skill Up money, that's training money. We have TANF Summer Jobs, it's now called Jobs League. It used to be a traditional summer youth employment program, and it was so valuable and successful that Department of Health and Human Services decided to make it a year-round program. So now it's called Jobs League. We also, in our region, ResCare or EQUIS operates our Missouri Work Assistance Program for the Springfield region. We have the contract to operate that same program in the Joplin region. So part of our funding, 17%, is our MWA program, and we have an office and we have City of Springfield staff in Mount Vernon, Missouri, as well as Joplin and the Joplin Job Center. We have a direct grant, an EPA grant, an environmental cleanup. We have a direct federal grant. It's H-1B money from the Department of Labor, America's Promise. And we share costs with all of our partners. All of them pay their fair share of rent and space and common space allocation. And we allocate our partner costs based on square footage. Not all regions do that. Some allocate their costs based on FTEs. Our region for us, for many, many years, it's worked best for us and has been the cleanest to allocate partner costs according to square footage. But showing this pie chart just kind of shows you how we can leverage all of our resources and our grants. So on the next slide, for example, so because we try to co-enroll everybody. So a Skill Up participant might be co-enrolled in WIOA, and we utilize that because maybe they can't get supportive services from Skill Up, but if they're co-enrolled, they can get supportive services from WIOA Adult. A Jordan Valley medical assistant, I mentioned them as a partner. Again, it's a community partner we value and we work closely with. Currently on food stamps, qualifies for, it was $4,000, now it's $6,500 in CARES Act funding towards certification. And if we co-enroll them in our America's Promise grant, then that grant specifically can cover the remaining $1135.20 that maybe the CARES Act wouldn't cover. Again, another example would be CARES Act funding could assist a welding participant if they were going to go get a new welding certificate with $4,000 or $6,500 towards training. While then we co-enroll them in Skill Up, that could cover the rest of the training. So again, it's all about the participant and doing what's best of the participant and for them. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this is our job and this is what we do. We are very strategic and intentional with our funding and our braiding our funding because again, it wouldn't, we wouldn't expect one of our customers to come in and say, can I get Skill Up funding and CARES Act funding? That's our job. We want them to pursue a career in one of our sectors we train in for our region. And again, each region is very different about what sectors they focus on. But we don't want them to worry about that. And we do everything we can to assure and ensure that, they can get a good paying job and career at the end of it at no cost to them. But we do really emphasize co-enrollment because it really is of value. And we're very fortunate in our region that we have many options, several different funds that we can utilize. And it works. And again, it's the value of partnerships and collaborations. And that's all of the slides, Haley, I have. So I will turn it back over to Misty or Jim.
Thank you, Sally, and thank you, Haley. Now we're going to welcome Jim Colby from the AFL-CIO Displaced Workers Program.
Good morning, Misty, and I appreciate you offering me to be on this call and do these information sessions to try to help people find all the help that they can get after they've lost a job. We still have over 100,000 people unemployed in the state of Missouri. And when you look at the Springfield Job Center and the hard work they've done with all the partnering to help bring as many people together to help these people, we're greatly appreciative and really enjoy that slideshow showing all the back work that job centers have to do to try to bring services forward to people who have no idea all that is going on. We partner first with the University of Missouri for helping us do this, and we greatly appreciate that. But our main goal is to bring dislocated workers to our Missouri job centers because they are the hospitals of a sick economy. And things may be getting better, but if you're still one of those persons that's unemployed, they need all the help they can get, and we need to bring them in just to start working to get them reskilled and get them reemployed. Now, we could talk about some of our partners that we bring in, and we do two types of programs. We'll do a surviving layoff workshop at the site, and right now, that's very difficult to do. Or we might do a peer counseling training to teach workers that are in a plant that's going to close so that they can help guide people to our Missouri job centers and know everything that's out there that's available for them. But one of the first things we will bring to them and give to them is a financial industry regulatory authority guide. And we do that because we want to make sure that dislocated workers make smart financial choices after a layoff. Protecting workers when getting financial advice after they lose a job. We get some older workers who might have a pension, they might have a 401k plan, they might be able to take that pension in a lump sum, and they're going to go out there and look at, interview, and meet financial advisors that they may have never, ever done something like that before. And we want to make sure that they can check that that financial advisor in the state that they live in doesn't have a dozen complaints. We want to make sure they're getting a good advisor who is doing really good business for the people that they work for. So there's a simple 800 number that they can call, 1-800-289-9999, or they can check the website for brokercheck.finra.org. And any financial advisor working in the state of Missouri is listed in there, and they'll be able to see the number of complaints they have. Now, any financial advisor could easily get one or two complaints over 10 years in service. But if you're running across somebody that has a dozen complaints, we kind of want to, guide them. They better go meet some more people to help them take care of that. We also want to protect them from job search scams. And even though the job center does a great job, there are still some folks that find out when there's a big layoff in a certain town. They'll try to advertise. They'll try to get people to buy education and make promises that may not be true. One, they might promise that if you pass this, you're guaranteed a job. Well, if you're a dislocated worker, we don't want people paying for education when it could be paid for through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act so that we can get them reskilled. So we want to protect them about those issues. Some education promises too much and guarantee too much and don't follow through with that. So going through our Missouri Job Centers is the best way to take care of it. And that's why we partner with Missouri Job Centers. They can check market information about local job openings and possible pay for training instead of you paying for training through various government training programs. We also want to make sure that the workers check with the company if they can keep their savings in a 401k plan. And we just want to make them aware that if your company laid you off, but you can still leave your 401k plan there and it doesn't cost you anymore, why take that 401k plan along with your lump sum and give it to a financial advisor? Because they're going to ask for at least a 1% and sometimes 2 and 3% wrap on that money. So we want to make them good financial decisions with that. The second thing we'll really bring to them is information on Social Security. Obviously, we can't bring any of those Social Security folks in, but we'll bring them some simple sheets to help them understand when to start receiving retirement benefits. When we get our older workers laid off, they'll certainly start looking at Social Security and say, well, gee, I'm going to turn 62 in 6 months. I think I'll just retire. We want to bring them a chart to show just how much money they will be giving up if they don't work till 66 or 67 to their full age of retirement, so that they can better plan for how much money they're going to need going forward. And it's a simple sheet that can show them that maybe I better work a few more years because, this really kind of costs a whole lot of money to retire. And when you're looking at different costs, it can add up quickly. And across the state of Missouri, one of our major partners certainly has been United Way. And they provide a service by offering 211 where you can call just about anywhere in the state of Missouri and get help and assistance. You know, we have a lot of families out there in the state of Missouri who are working paycheck to paycheck. So when they get laid off and they need to find a food pantry, it's the quickest way to help do that and make sure that they're taking care of their kids so until they can get reskilled or get back into that job market. You know, and they will help us find local partners when we're doing our peer counseling program to bring in specific people for industries or for workers who need certain skills. But our job centers, as many things as you showed there, you've got quite a few of them covered. One of them I want to cover with you is legal services we've got legal services of Eastern Missouri, legal services of Southern Missouri, and legal services of Western Missouri. And we'll always try to bring in information for them to make sure that they can get any help and refer dislocated workers to them to help them understand what type of services they might need if they're getting behind in their house payment or they're getting behind in their rent. Getting legal services at that time is very important just to help them along, make good decisions and try to go forward because, you know, one of the big reasons we like dislocated workers to try to do a budget is to understand that it costs a lot of money to run a family in a house, and you need to notify your creditors in advance to let them know you lost your job, you're going to be able to get out there and find a new one, but it might take a little bit of time, and start negotiating with them just all the way at the front of the start and try to reduce those expenses to be able to stress things down the line. So those groups, those legal services groups do a great service for our folks out there. Now, the other main partner we've been bringing in for most of our layoffs has been the U.S. Small Business Administration. And in every layoff, we might have 100 people. We might have 1 or 2 or 3 people that want to start a new business. Well, we want them to get all the help they possibly can, and, you know, sending them in the right direction with folks that can help them write that business plan and check out where they could get loans for starting a new business is a great deal, because it's exciting to see someone get out there and start their next program or next channel in their life. Now, we would say that the USDOL is one of our partners because we bring them in, certainly to help them find out where they're going to go for healthcare issues going forward. And they'll help them understand their COBRA benefits, their HIPAA, special enrollment periods, help them with the marketplace, the CHIP program, and the Medicare options that they would have. And they can also answer a lot of questions on retirement benefits. Now, this is just a short end of how many different partners we would have, but with our COVID situation right now, it's hard to bring folks in face-to-face. So providing information for them to be able to reach out to these partners is a great thing for us. And when we do our peer counseling training, we'll tailor that to the people in that particular business to try to help bring in more, maybe our community college partners to let people know what type of quick education programs there are. But we want to make sure that they're in the job center first, because you've got to get registered for a job center and you've got to get training approved through that Missouri Job Center. And that's the best way to do that, to make sure that you're logged in to mojobs.gov and that you're logged in with the job center so that we can make sure that your help and assistance can go forward, not even just 1 year, but maybe 2 years or 3 years to get you through a training program to help you get skilled up into that next training program. So I think that's all the basics that I had planned to cover this morning. I appreciate you giving me the time to speak. I appreciate the great job that our Missouri Job Center has done, and Sally in Springfield has just got it rocking and rolling. And I know that our job centers all across the state of Missouri have been so helpful with people, especially just getting their unemployment benefits when they had to jump into that. And now when they're doing these job fairs by the drive-thrus, I just got to love that. And I think that's taken off all over the state. So we're really happy to see that innovative work to help our people find new jobs. So Sally, my hat's off to you for doing a great job with that. If anybody's got any questions, they can give me a call. We're still busy trying to figure out who's going to get laid off tomorrow, and hoping they get this new package done so we can take care of the thousands of airline people we have in Missouri, and we know that our service sector has just been hammered and demolished. But we can reskill folks. We can get them reemployed with everything we're trying to do here in Missouri. So I appreciate everybody's efforts in that. And Misty, thank you for doing such a great job with this program and bringing so many people together to help people understand we're out there to help them, and we'll help move them along. So you guys have a great day.
So Jim, thank you very much. And I want to remind you that you are welcome